Hey gang, Mr. Hardtail here. I've been locked in quarantine for the last week. Got one more week to go. Thought it'd be a good time to give you 2021 Commencal Meta build 3.0. Let's get into it.
So good.
Alright squad, so this is my 2021 Commencal Meta HT. This is the 2021 frame, and it is the brown sand matte finish. Love the look of this thing. It's been good. I wrote it all last season. It's great, and I just rebuilt up the bike for this year. Was planning to do the Andes Pacifico, but obviously, if you haven't followed the channel, that's been canceled. So we decided just to make this a full-on bike park sleigh machine for this season. So let's get into it. We'll start from the top and go to the bottom this time. A little bit different. Alright, starting with the saddle. This is probably the best saddle I've ever used. I'm very, very happy about this. I'm pretty picky when it comes to saddles, but this is the best saddle ever. It is the WTB Volt, and it's just the steel rails. Nothing fancy. This saddle comes out to $58 Canadian. By far the best saddle I've ever used. Super comfortable. It's not super taint smashy. Highly recommend it, at least for me. WTB has a fitment guide that goes off your wrist bones. I went by that before I bought the saddle, and it seemed to work out just fine. So definitely check that out. WTB Volt. Check out their website. Go from there. All right, next up is the dropper. This is the 1UP components. Anybody who knows me knows I'm a huge fan of 1UP. Fantastic product, really good price, really good customer service. I used to have the 170mm dropper. I'm now rocking the 210mm dropper, and it is awesome, especially with the new frame. They shortened up that seat tube. I'm now able to put a huge dropper on this, make it epic for the climbs, and get that seat right out of the way when it comes to those gnarly descents. 1UP components dropper, awesome. Love it. Paired up with that dropper, I also have the metal 1UP's component lever. It's probably a bit overpriced. I think you can get some aluminum ones on like Amazon and that for like 30 bucks. Or if you want, Bontrager or Trek makes an aluminum lever, and retail it's only like 34 bucks from the shop. So I used to run those all the time. But you know what, I felt like matching everything. I was gonna do a proper build, so I got the aluminum 1UP one. Works great, but not necessary because I can't remember how much. It's quite expensive. But yeah, 1UP lever. All right, let's go right into the cockpit. So this is sweet. So I'm still running that stock ride stem from Commencal. Still rocking the good old FU40 aluminum handlebars. That's with a 40mm rise, 780mm width. I know a lot of you think I run really short bars, but it's actually just a field of view I use on my GoPro Max. These are still 780 wide. Put myself a nice fresh set of ODI Rogue grips. It's probably the best grips I've ever used. This is my third pair of these. I don't think I'll ever use anything else but. Really nice fat grips. I have big hands, so it works out good. They're nice and plush, but they don't wear out super quick. And awesome for downhill, especially those bike park days. So good. Next up is another 1UP components beauty. So they have the EDC, but a lot of people don't know about this. The EDC is pretty expensive. You got to thread in the fitting, you got to buy the attachment, and you have to buy all these extra ones. You can minimize that. 1UP now makes a thing that basically it just holds their tool. And then you get this little kind of, it looks like kind of like a test tube. It's about this long, and basically all you do is you bang down your star nut from, it usually sits here, you bang it down to like here, and then the center cap, or the stem cap bolt, will actually go, I don't know if you can see it, it actually goes down in there, and you just thread this little tube that's like this big down to your star cap or star nut, put this in, and then this guy just sits here. Boom, you now have a multi-tool right there. One less thing rattling around in your pack. I'm a minimalist, so this works out so good, and it looks nice and clean. And this Canadian, I think, was like 40 bucks. So highly, highly recommend that. So good. In terms of levers, I'm still rocking those good old Z's. I like them because they have the power of the Saints, and they have nice aluminum levers. As you can see, this one's taken some abuse over the years, and even lost a chunk of the cap here, but they still work great. Love them. Super easy to bleed, super reliable, no complaints whatsoever. I don't know, there's my stack height for anybody that's interested. Yeah, that's kind of just how I usually run it. I usually run a couple under here. I have one extra one up here just in case, but this is usually my go-to setup. All right, let's get to the new butter of the whole thing. This is a 2021 Fox 38 up front. I'm pretty psyched about this. I got it set to 170 travel. It is a 27.5 fork, so I got rid of the 29er fork. I have it set to 170. This thing's a beauty. It looks so good, and I can tell you right now, like, I've had it out just a couple times at 160 mil, and huge fan. Love how they have those bleeder ports, and I'm actually kind of stoked about the color. I wasn't sure when I first got it. It's kind of like a matte tealishy color, and I thought it wasn't going to match. I was going to get orange, but then once I put it on the bike, I actually think the tan and the teal, both in matte, look pretty bomb. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I think it looks sick. Along with that, I think it's a Mudhuggers fender. I just ended up getting a good deal on it, and during the fall winter riding, it gets pretty muddy. So I thought I'd try something new. I'm pretty happy with it. Like, I can't remember how much it was, maybe 40 bucks. A little pricey, but I think it looks good. The only thing I don't like is, like, it can get knocked to the side and kind of stay like this, so you're gonna have to bring it back. I'll have to figure something out to make that better. But yeah, so far so good. Pretty happy about that. Yeah, down at the brakes. So I'm still rocking those 203 front and rear. Like I said, I got the Z calipers. Now, one thing I did this year, which I actually kind of regret, is I bought finned pads. The Shimano finned pads. I think they're the biggest waste of money. Well, hear me out. They're not a waste of money. They do work. They do prevent heating up better. I 100% agree with that. I do a couple of hill bombs on my typical run, and I usually get a lot of brake squealing towards the end because they get hot. Don't get that with these. But the sacrifice you get is these things rattle like crazy when you're on the trail. Like, it's absolutely, like, it drives me insane, and I hate it. For a pad that's twice as much money as a non-finned, I won't buy another pair of finned rotors, at least for this bike. Like, I don't need them. I got them for Andy Specifico because I knew there's some long-ass descent stages. I didn't want to cook my brakes, so I tried to get every little bit I could, but I will not be buying more of these. They are just so annoying, especially when you do things like video your runs. I can't stand them. But yeah, I'm running 203 front and rear with the Saint brakes, or not Saint, sorry, the Z's, and I love them, tried and true. No complaints whatsoever. Easy to bleed, easy maintenance, pumped. All right, so tires. Once again, I'm still sticking with what I know and love, and that would be the good old Minion DHF up front with an XO casing, just because they're a little bit cheaper than the XO Plus right now. 2.6. The Max Terra 3 compound. Yeah, 2.6. I am running a tire insert in the front. That's a Cush core. Just, I don't necessarily need it, but I was going to run it for Andy's Pacifico. It's in there now, so I might as well keep it in there for park season. Yeah, great tire. Everybody knows the Minion's amazing. Tried, tested, and true. Great tire. Really happy with it. Good weight. No complaints. And on the back, I am still running the good old Specialized Butcher, also in a 2.6 with the black diamond casing. And I do have a Cushcorn here as well with a ton of sealant. I'm actually, the one downside of these Butchers are that the rubber tends to be pretty hard. There's not a lot of grip, but they're burly. Like, I have no issues with these tires at all in terms of durability. Amazing, and price is good because they're like 80 bucks Canadian. Specialized just came out with a new version of this tire with, I think it's called like T9 rubber. It's super soft, so I'm excited to try that out. So you'll get some extra grip out of this rear. But on the flip side, it's now a $100 tire, so you know, it's a give take. But I love the Butcher. A lot of people don't like the Butcher. It's been great, man. It's been a good tire. This has been like my go-to tire setup for quite a while. Once again, let me know what you think the best tire setup in maybe a 2.6 is on your bike, and maybe I'll give it a go. All right, next up is, we'll go with the pedals. I'm still rocking those good old 1UP composite pedals. They're cheap. If I break them, I'm not too worried. They've been so durable, good amount of grip. Super, super, super happy with those. All right, finally, one of the big upgrades here is I finally got rid of those NX cranks and finally went to GX everything, which I'm pretty happy with. A little bit more burlier crank arm, a 34 down to a 32, which I feel is great because it gets that chain line in just a little bit more, at least from the one I had. I got the GX derailleur as well. I am still running the NX cassette only because I have Shimano hub on here for now. I'll upgrade it to GX at some point, but I'm not going to go out of my way to do that. And then of course, yes, I have the GX shifter up top, so it's nice to have some metal components, a little bit more burly. Like I said, I did it more for the Andy's Pacifico, and I was going to run the NX as spares, but overall it's a good upgrade to have, so I'm okay with that. I'm happy with that. And yeah, I think that's about it. I'm super stoked to get this thing out for the 2021 season. Corona's making things really weird. Let's hope we get a good bike park season. My goal is to try and run as many burly trails this year as possible. I'm taking the summer off just to ride my bike and try and make some good content for you guys. Let me know what you guys want to see next. Do you guys want to see a bike check in my BMX? Do you guys have any suggestions for the most gnarly trails I should hit? Maybe let me know when COVID lifts. What areas should I hit in the world to go ride some gnarly hardtail action? Anyways, until next time, positive vibes, gnarly rides.